who are excited to be there, high-fiving each other, enjoying the moments they're there together. That's possible. It's very humanly possible. I'm Jonathan. I'm here to flip the script on everything you thought you knew about construction. You know, one thing that really pisses me off more than most things in the world is when I hear the old adage of, our revenue is up, we're doing great in our sales, our efficiencies are shit, and profit margins are low. What the hell is going on? Our people are useless, get rid of them all. And then the door closes, and you're left, and you're thinking, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? Because when you walk on a construction site, and you live it, as I've lived it, as many of us have lived it, and you walk there, and it's that hunched over, beaten up, like we just went to war, because we've got people on sites who are living, breathing, and bleeding for the organization, giving everything they got, and yet it still seems never enough. We hear the project's losing money. We never hear the great things, because if every project lost money in the business, there would be no business. We wouldn't have a job. So I call bullshit sometimes. And if you're sitting there having the courage and the tenacity to say that it's all the people that invite you to look in the mirror. Because if you're going to say what you're going to say and blame somebody else, then you better have the courage to stand up in the mirror and realize that sometimes it's not them, sometimes it's you. And what could be different when we amplified the output of others, when we actually gave a damn about the people doing the work? What if I went from head down, beaten up, war look, to coming in to a site, who are excited to be there, high-fiving each other, enjoying the moments they're there together? That's possible. It's very humanly possible. And it's really based on 3 underlying fundamental principles. 3 of them. So you wonder why people leave. You sit there and you go through your head and say, I've done everything right. Or you think you've done everything right. You've trained them, you've spent time with them, and then they leave. You want to amplify the output of others? You want to talk about fuel for high performers? 3 things, folks. 3 things. Number 1, do they have the information they need to perform the task at hand? What the hell does that mean? That means if I'm going to build a shelf, am I giving them all the information? Here's the specifications. Here's the intent of the shelf. Here's what the shelf needs to do. Information, not just a chunk of the information. I'm talking the whole thing here. And if we've given them all the information, what's number 2? Autonomy. Do I have the autonomy? Autonomy means the ability to make their own decisions about the task at hand. Psychological safety is the number 1 underpin factor. And that starts with autonomy. Give the person doing the work the ability to make the decisions. So that, Jonathan, here's the specs on the shelf. How you position it, which screws you use. You have the autonomy. Whatever the parameters are, it's okay to say you have the autonomy within these parameters. And give it parameters. Information, autonomy. Number 3, contribution. Do they matter? Does the work they do matter? Because if all those things are in check, then we're talking about high-performing teams. We're talking about people who show up because they want to be there. We're talking about people who show up with vulnerability and say, you know what, Jonathan, today's a shit day. Today's not the day. My kids kept me up. My dog's not doing well. I'm concerned about this. You see, that all of these things now build the psychological safety so that we have high-performing teams. Dig in. Were you really there for them? Did you provide the 3 fundamental underpinnings built for high-performing, successful teams? Did you provide them information? Did they have the information to do the job? Autonomy. Did they have the ability to make their own decisions? Contribution. Does the work they do matter? And are they important to the team? So ask yourself, am I giving them the things they need to succeed?